Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining me for Sales Q&A Live, where I answer your sales questions. So let's remember that if you have a sales question, you can put it in the comments, or you can email it to me or message it to me, or whatever you would like to do. And I will be happy to answer it on Friday. So may not get to yours today if you're not giving me one, but just know that opportunity is there for you. So today's question comes from Ed. And Ed tells me that he is somewhat of an introvert, not necessarily comfortable networking, doesn't really like small talk, and so isn't quite sure how to navigate now that we're starting to go back to being in person and networking with other humans. So he was just curious what suggestions I would give. And that's a pretty big topic. And it's a topic I love. Quite frankly, I think introverts make the best networkers because they don't like talking. So, because networking should be about learning. So, asking a question and then being quiet and really actively listening to the answer is one of the best ways to network, because you probably know I firmly believe that discovery is the path toward business growth. So the best way to use discovery and networking is to have something that you really want to know about people. Not something that necessarily has to do with your business, but something that is just of interest to you, because it gives you the opportunity to ask the question and then listen to the answer. Honestly, one of the best things that you can ask, and it's not even really a question, is tell me your story. Because they're going to tell you whatever really matters to them in the moment. And it's going to give you great insight into who they are, what they're excited about, what's going on with them, maybe what they're challenged by, who knows? It just depends. And I had someone once say to me, okay, which story? And I said, whichever one you want to tell me, because that's what I wanted to hear, the one that they were most interested in. Because it isn't, so what do you do? Which is a terrible question. Everybody hates it. And quite frankly, they're going to tell you what they do and you really don't care. It's really not what you want to know. Think about it. What you want to know is, who are they? So you want to know what they love about what they do, the value of what they do, what got them into that industry in the first place, what's their favorite part of it. I mean, there are so many kinds of questions that you can ask people so that you can then have a meaningful conversation or not. And here's the beauty part. When you're approaching networking this way, I mean, there's so many beauty parts. One is that you'll enjoy it a lot more because you won't feel like you're on. You won't feel like you've got to, get a sale, get a customer. It's not going to happen. So let it go. So you can enjoy yourself. You're more natural. So you're more you. So you're more connective with people. And you are learning not only about, maybe who might be a potential client, even though I'm telling you it's really not going to happen when you're networking, but you're going to find out who are the people that you want to continue to engage with. Who are the people who you want to learn more about what they do because you want to add them to your resource, toolbox. Who knows? I mean, I can tell you, when I network, when I hear someone, if we're going around the room and everyone's, saying what their business is, if I hear someone say something about a particular industry that I know I've been asked about in the past, but I don't really have any strong resources, I'm going to want to talk to that person. I want to learn more about that person, why they do what they do, how they got into the business, what is it they love about it, how long have they been doing it, what kinds of clients do they work with. I want to ask them all sorts of questions because I'm trying to identify if I want to continue to get to know them, to see if it makes sense to include them in my resource community. So a big part of networking is building that community. It's not just about, potentially finding clients. It's about building that community around your business so that you are getting referrals from people and you also have resources that you can share. So if you're an introvert and you really don't like the whole idea of selling, okay, I'm okay with that. How about you don't? Because it doesn't work. It especially doesn't work when you're networking and you don't like the whole idea of networking. Well, guess what? You got to do it. You got to build those relationships. So relax, be you. When you go to the event, when you walk in the door, take one step to your right or left so you're not blocking traffic and just look around the room. And if you see someone sitting by themselves, go over to them, put your hand out and say, I don't believe we've met. I'm so-and-so. And they will shake your hand and they will think you are a superhero because you are keeping them from sitting by themselves, feeling awkward, not knowing what to do. And then you can ask them, so what brought you to this event? Have you been to one of these before? Do you know, anyone here? And then take the conversation, wherever it's going to go. And then you can take that person with you to go meet other people. You can always walk up to anybody and say, I don't believe we've met, if you haven't met. And then you can say, would you tell me your story? Okay. And then just listen and learn. And when you identify those people who you want to continue to engage with, reach out to them after the event, like within 24 hours of the event, and suggest coffee or a call or Zoom, whatever it is, so that you can continue that conversation. And here's the other beautiful thing about using discovery and just, asking questions and absorbing the answers. You're also going to identify who you don't want to be engaging with. And that is equally valuable. Like, we want to know who does not fit in our orbit as much as we want to know who does. So when you're really paying attention, you're going to see how people interact with you. If they walk up and they hand you their business card and they just start talking about what they do and they're trying to convince you that you need it, or they're asking you questions about in regards to what they do so that they can get you to a place where they can say, that they want to tell you more about what they do, you're going to realize that you just really don't want to be around that person, and that's okay. You can politely remove yourself from the conversation, and then you can move on. And what you've learned is that is someone where there is not a resonance. Okay, it's life, this happens. But this is how then you build this community around your business. You got to do the follow-up. You got to go with an open mind and a curious mind, just wanting to learn, talking very little. Don't hand your business card to everyone, especially these days after COVID. I mean, I don't think we're going to be handing business cards to anybody. Respect, people's boundaries and be prepared. So before you go, know what that question is that you want to ask, know what that thing is that you want to know about people. Have your business cards on you in the event someone asks you for one. And when you meet the people who you want to engage with more, ask them for their business card or their contact information, or to connect with them on LinkedIn so that you have their connection information and you can continue the conversation. Okay. Networking is about building relationships with people who may or may not need what you have to sell. So, one tactic that I will leave you with is, when you go to an event, assume that no one there needs what you have to sell, because then you won't be in sales mode. You will have already made the decision, the assumption that no one's going to need it. So no one wants to hear about it. No one wants to know about it. And so you're off the hook. So you're just going to go, you're going to enjoy whatever the event is. You're going to meet people. You're going to see what makes sense. Okay. So you can get more answers in my book, Succeed Without Selling. on Amazon and wherever books are sold. You can go to this link here and pick up a copy of the book. You can also reach out to me on any of my platforms and send me a question you'd like me to answer live on a Friday. Thanks. Talk to you later.